much. Just kind of cloudy and cool though. Hi.
Hey, Facebook.
We're doing this. We're doing this thing.
Yeah,
We're bringing it back.
Cool.
for today.
Oh, okay.
Old
We're
school.
going to say goodbye to the kids.
I'm just glad you warned me, Jeff, because it'd be saying goodbye to 2 people today.
You?
Yeah. Yeah. You can't hot mic me and not tell me.
Are you saying that, so, but you said I did tell you.
You did now, so now your liability is limited.
Good. We got to say goodbye to the boys. We're gonna
Oh
do
God,
this
sorry
special-
guys that I keep coughing. I'm just getting over the. Listen,
Uh-oh.
I was homesick for like 5 days in a row
Uh-oh.
a little bit ago.
Here we go. It's already started.
Good.
Stand by.
New CENTER Maine at 5. A massive fire in Winslow blazes through multiple buildings. Luckily, no one was hurt. We'll have the details. Plus, hockey is back in Portland. We're checking in with the Maine Mariners about their upcoming season. Plus,
He gets kind of unusual angles and reflections. He has a different take on the world.
we'll meet a 24-year-old who's turned his hobby of photography into a growing business and how he's inspiring others along the way. The news starts right now.
No one was hurt in a massive fire this afternoon in Winslow, but it did leave behind a good deal of damage. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keith Carson.
And I'm Samantha York. Thanks for being with us this evening. Officials say the McCormack Building Supply on Lithgow Street lost 2.5 buildings in the fire. As of about 2 p.m., the fire was still going but contained to small rubble piles. Winslow's police chief says it's a family-run business and that a lot of local contractors frequent it for supplies such as garage doors, paint, and other materials that are believed to have been lost in the blaze. Again, no one was injured in the fire. It remains under investigation by the state fire marshal's office. A woman was killed this morning when the truck she was driving went off the road in the town of Sydney. State police say Elizabeth Simmons was driving down Middle Road on a slight curve when she suddenly left the roadway and flipped over. Police investigated and say she was speeding and not wearing her seatbelt. She died instantly.
Well, the city of Portland and community organizers that stepped in to help an influx of asylum seekers to Portland this summer are getting some federal funding.
Yeah, according to Senator Susan Collins' office, nearly $900,000 will go to the city, Preble Street, and the Jewish Community Alliance. Collins says she pushed for this funding, saying, quote, "The expense should not fall on the people of Maine alone. A national crisis requires a national solution."
Well, the impeachment inquiry into President Trump is accelerating tonight.
Yeah, a new witness spent the day in a congressional meeting room in a courtroom, a potentially pivotal ruling. As NBC's Scott McFarland reports, a busy week for congressional investigators is ending with a bang.
At first, it was uncertain if former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Marie Yovanovitch would testify in the House impeachment inquiry. Testify she did, in private, under subpoena, telling investigators President Trump wanted her out. Yovanovitch said she was removed as ambassador to Ukraine based on, quote, unfounded and false claims by people with clearly questionable motives.
So far, I think both sides are finding her very credible.
Yovanovitch said the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, an unnamed contact, sought to have her removed, potentially for financial gain. Her testimony noteworthy as Congress investigates a whistleblower complaint the president sought help from Ukraine to investigate political rival Joe Biden.
She was against this. She was against the politicization of national security policy.
Another key diplomat, U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, first declined to testify, but now says he will, under a subpoena, even though the White House has vowed it would not cooperate. Just a few blocks away, a federal appeals court handed congressional investigators a victory, approving a U.S. House subpoena for 8 years of business records from the president, saying it's a valid and enforceable subpoena, an indication federal courts could later approve other impeachment inquiry subpoenas.
And what do they want to do? Let's impeach our president, right? I don't think so.
And for the second night in a row, President Trump is making a campaign speech, headed to Louisiana this evening after a speech condemning the House Democrats' effort last night in Minneapolis. Scott McFarland, NBC News, Washington.
Alrighty, we'll have more local news in just a second, but first, how about a sneak peek at the forecast?
Yeah, it's been a dreary couple of days for most of us. Northern Maine has seen sun, but a lot of our more populated and coastal areas, it's been a bit. I've been using the spray tan. It's the first time this season that I've been using spray tan. Can you tell?
You look great.
You didn't even look, Sammy. Well, it's this new stuff, so it's like Neutrogena.
Oh,
They've got this spray stuff. It's really good.
Good Lord.
Now I'm wearing makeup, so you really can't tell either way. But here's a look at the subtropical low that gave us all the clouds the last couple of days, and it's got a really good formation to it, and that's why the National Hurricane Center stepped in this morning and named it Subtropical Low Melissa. It doesn't really change the impacts at all for us, but it does show you that that storm was pretty potent down to our south and southeast. Visible satellite here again, it's coastal cloudiness. There's some sun, or was some sun at least, into the mountains and across northern Maine. We got about another 45-50 minutes of that. Sunsets a little bit early this time of the year. And then there's the moisture that is continuing to show showers like they're coming onshore, but they haven't hit the ground in almost any spots yet. So that's that low level moisture, but it's not quite saturated and cool enough to give us rain showers. So the rest of tonight is cloudy, maybe a few areas of fog. And then tomorrow, Sammy, looks like we'll see clouds, couple of showers, but you're gonna like the way the second half of the weekend looks.
Alrighty. We'll talk about it soon. Thanks, Keith. Some good news to chime in this Friday for folks in Biddeford. The historic City Hall clock tower has been restored, on the inside at least. The city announced a $150,000 grant to pay for the project in October, and less than a year later, the results of that work were revealed today. This project focused on the inner workings of the clock. The clock tower, which was built in 1894, has been restored thanks to the preservation grant from American Express and the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The city collaborated with a civic organization called Heart of Biddeford to raise the money and brought in the Freeport-based Balzer Family Clockworks to carry out the renovation. They say you can't put a price on this kind of work.
It's not about money. Just forget about money. It's just not. If you do things for money, you're out of your minds anyway. Because you need to do what you want to do. In this case, for the history of Biddeford and for the industry. These timepieces, we stopped producing them in the early 60s. There was only one made then. And all of those that have been built since then, 10 or 12 of them, built in the United States, were built by us here in Maine.
From here, their focus is to now spruce up the outside of the building, but they haven't announced a specific plan for that just yet.
I have one. Let's show you. This is all you need to do to the outside of the clock tower.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's, I think it just gets fixed. That's how it works. Okay. Got another story come up?
Oh, you're fantastic. This is great. Yeah, coming up, we're going to meet a man with an intellectual disability that is making a name for himself in photography.
And we had to mention that it is Liam Nee's last day today. He makes our website, does a lot of stories, live stream. He is the man behind that. Throughout the show, we got people who wanted to say goodbye to him.
Before I get started, Liam, I just want to say that I left because of you. It's all your fault. Totally just kidding. I think you are amazing. You're one of the nicest people to work with. You are an incredibly hard worker, in there early, staying late, creating and managing online content that is just above and beyond anybody else. I never heard you once complain a day that I worked with you, and you're always the sweetest person both inside and outside of the station. Congratulations. I'm so thrilled for this next step in your journey. I hope New York is big enough to contain your talent, but something tells me this is just another stepping stone along the way. Congratulations. Love you. Good luck.
The boast at a stop in front of a camera, it could be. That's fine, that's true. No sign. Oh. That's just me being a serious. You're just waiting to see if Fandango comments. I am. We're such home improvement like fanatics that I sent him like my shower finally got done today. He's like, oh, glass looks sweet. Who did it? And Paul's like, you guys are so old. Yeah, sorry, we'll just prop it up. Is this the interview? This guy? Now, Isaac, does he know these questions ahead, or can we come off them a little bit? Whoop, oops, sorry. That's fine. Yeah, and he might take a while with the other one. I don't know. So just let us know.
Okay,
and
so once we go from this interview, we wrap up the plan. What do we do? What are we going to? Bump to. Do we say anything? Okay. Okay.
Yes, Isaac. Does Ryan know the questions we're asking him, or? Okay. Okay. Good.
Okay. Are we?
We should just have him come in.
We're just looking over here.
Yeah, he's not going to appear behind us, right? The guest. Okay.
Okay.
We should do that sometimes, though. It looks good. Yeah. As long as you're aware of it, it looks good.
Good. Why did they do this?
What? These? I think it works for him.
It does. My brother used
You
to work
remember
there.
it? Yeah.
Attending the game tonight is Commissioner Brian
The newly reborn Maine Mariners begin their second season tonight at the Cross Insurance Arena, where they host the Adirondack Thunder at 7:15.
And attending the game tonight is ECHL Commissioner Ryan Creelan. Ryan, what has it been like to add Maine to the list of stops for your league?
It's a very welcome addition to our North Division. Year two for the Mariners here in the ECHL, but certainly not unfamiliar to minor league hockey in this market. Long history here, and so it's great to have them back last year, but excited for year two.
All right, Ryan, here's the question you may not have seen coming. You have to pick one mascot and team name from the whole league that's the best one. What is it?
Oh, I don't know. We got a whole bunch, but we have two puffins around the league with Maine and Newfoundland there, and we also have two teams named the Thunder. But I enjoy them all.
Yeah.
Very political answer.
Right. Okay.
The answer is the Orlando Solar Bears, just for everybody at home.
Okay, good.
That's the answer.
I'm glad you cleared that up. All right, and it's no secret there have been several minor league teams in Maine that have folded or moved away. Do you have any concerns about this with the Mariners?
Well, I think our challenge for hockey is always to welcome new fans to the game, and that's crucial to our success. So we have our core base of hockey fans, but it's more than just hockey. It's about the full entertainment experience, getting the family out of the house and come down and enjoy a game. So when you talk about movement or teams going away, it's all about being ingrained in the community, providing a great entertainment experience, and then it sustains itself. And so they're off to a strong start there in year one, a need to build on it here in year two, but very encouraged by what they're doing here in the community.
All right, Ryan Creelan, thank you so much for being with us this evening. Again, the Mariners hitting the ice this evening at 7:15 at the Cross Insurance Arena.
Yeah, something nice out. Nothing else to do anyways. All right, coming up, I'm actually going to do my job at some point.
Oh, you are? Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, one of them.
Oh.
I can't believe he dodged that. I wanted a real answer. There's one called the Orlando Solar Bears, and it's a jacked polar bear with sunglasses on.
I love that.
So that was the correct answer, but okay. Oh yeah, right. Swamp Rabbits, yeah. That was the other team name.
What were the Swamp Rabbits?
I don't know, that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Say 85% of small businesses don't make it in the first year.
Is L prompter not working again, or it doesn't work up here? Right. Maybe not. If it works, then yes. But.
It's transferred. Oh, it did die. Hello? Hello? Hey, how's it going? You okay? Need help?
No.
This camera is not like the most reliable thing I've ever seen.
No, not at all.
Oh God, the phone is ringing off the hook because people are so mad that we're anchored.
Terrible.
Experts say
They send emails. They don't call too much. I find.
Don't make it in the first.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
85%.
So no newsroom shot with him? I'm gonna go with it's probably not gonna work.
Okay. Oh, the prompter.
Yeah. The camera's
The camera's fine. Okay.
The camera's
okay.
good. Just the prompter thing is.
Just where all the words are. That's fine.
Experts say 85% of small businesses across this country do not make it in the first year.
You know what we should do? We should do is just face it slightly this way sometimes, and then we'll be able to read off that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do it.
Yeah.
Do you have enough time?
You see what I'm saying? Just so we can side eye prompter it. It's a lot easier. Like if you just stand. Yeah. I mean, actually, that might look weirder. I don't know. Oh, hey, it works now. Hey.
It's okay,
Hey.
the shot's supposed to be, so.
So, experts say 85% of small businesses across this country do not make it in the first year.
Now, a young man from Gorham not only beat those odds, but overcame the challenges of having an intellectual disability to make his dreams a reality. News Center's Vivian Lee has the story.
Caleb Dunlap's love of photography began in middle school. Using an app on his iPad, he started capturing images that spoke to him.
When I take a picture of it, I feel like it.
He upgraded his camera and started clicking away. Several years later, a professional photographer told him he had a gift. These images are from one of his daily outings at Deering Oaks Park.
And the photographer told him that he had a good eye and that he had a talent that is the kind of talent that isn't necessarily something you can teach, that he was able to see things in a different kind of way, that he should really go further with it and share his photos with the world.
Sharing with the world for Caleb meant starting his own photography business. Born with Down syndrome, he faced obstacles his whole life. Caleb's parents were concerned about his future in the business world living with an intellectual disability.
We didn't let our fears limit his possibilities, so we just kept on giving him what he needed and what he was asking for.
With the support of his family, a job coach, and vocational training, Good Eye Photography launched last year. Caleb works out of this co-working office space where he can network and make connections. The outdoors and urban spaces inspire him and his customers. This picture of locks on Commercial Street is a big seller. He also loves to capture reflections.
I do that to windows, same thing with doorways, and same thing with pedals.
His business made a small profit in the first year. Caleb also hopes one day his photographs will be featured in magazines and displayed in local art galleries. Getting to this point took a lot of hard work, something everyone can relate to.
I think anyone who's going through anything difficult can see what Caleb's doing with his challenges and can recognize that maybe they can reach their dreams too.
Caleb hopes to be an inspiration to people with special needs.
I want to encourage them, it is possible, is they could be a photographers as well, and they can complete anything of their dreams.
And for many people with disabilities, just getting a job like anyone else is a dream. But Caleb is helping change that picture one click at a time. In Portland, Vivian Lee, News Center, Maine.
Caleb got help in writing a business plan at the Small Business Development Center at the University of Southern Maine. We'll have more information about resources that are available and about Caleb's photography business on our website and mobile app. All right, let's get to weather because I want to know what's going on this weekend. I got a cornhole tournament to win.
Yeah, I already told you it doesn't look great. But, I mean, you might win, but it's not going to be all nice. The first half of the weekend, at least, we have a subtropical storm, Melissa. And this is interesting because when I first looked at this storm on the models, it looked like a subtropical low, but nothing ever really came of it. This morning, the National Hurricane Center named it as a subtropical low. It doesn't change any impacts for us. It just means that there's a hybrid system down there, warm core and cold core combined, and likely to turn into a tropical storm briefly before it moves off quickly to the east and northeast. But there's a look at it, and especially in those early frames, you can see what the National Hurricane Center saw in this storm. There are more poorly organized tropical storms in the Gulf of Mexico than this looked, a couple hours ago. So it's a well-formed storm, and you can see some of the clouds that have moved into Maine and pretty consistently over southern coastal Maine in particular through the day today. And it's been breezy, not windy, but breezy, and that's just the outer wind field of this subtropical low. Precipitation-wise, though, we are yet to really see any rain from this storm, and even tonight and into tomorrow we're looking at just isolated scattered showers around. Most of us stay dry. Temperatures right now upper 50s, low 60s, which is around average for this time of the year. So it's not particularly cool out, and actually overnight temperatures will stay relatively mild because of the cloud cover. So that's an insulating property. Into the 50s here overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Now tomorrow at one point, we thought could it be a total washout, and then we knew by Tuesday, no, that's not going to happen. It's never, and it won't be, a nice day tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of clouds around. Temperatures will be only in the 50s, but the amount of showers, as you can see, is relatively low here. Just a couple of scattered showers around, especially coastal locations, and then they dwindle by late afternoon, and we stay cloudy overnight on Saturday, and then Sunday we start with some clouds, but clear out quickly. Sunday afternoon looks great. Temperatures in the mid and upper 60s and a lot of sunshine. So definitely the better of the two weekend days. Having a look at a big trough into midweek, which could bring us an interesting rain nor'easter on Wednesday night, Thursday, which will be lovely. It'll be windy and rainy, and so I put potentially terrible in the forecast yesterday for Thursday. And it's looking likely terrible now, Wednesday night into Thursday, but staying breezy into Friday. That's the kind of storm, by the way, midweek that could defoliate in a lot of spots. If you want to do some leaf looking or whatever you're going to call it this weekend, early next week, probably good to get in on it.
Perfect. Good to know. Thanks, Keith. Well, closing out Mental Illness Awareness Week, a planting of tulips outside a place that provides mental health services. The Yellow Tulip Project is a nonprofit founded 3 years ago by a sophomore at Waynflete School in Portland who lost two close friends to suicide. So today in Bangor at United Cerebral Palsy of Maine, bulbs go into the ground that next spring will stand united against the stigma of mental illness.
UCP of Maine provides services to people with mental illness, and so we're always trying to work to break any stigma and help the community and provide any support that we can.
The goal of today's planting is to remind those who are suffering with mental illness that it is okay to seek treatment. And now some more goodbyes for our friend Liam.
The Digital Desk, where it all happens. Liam, my man, you came in and job shadowed me when you were in high school. Who knew all these years later you'd be working here, we'd get to work together. I'm so happy for you, so proud of you. You're gonna do huge, big things. We'll all be following you. You're the man.
Liam, I am so sad to see you go, but so happy for you. This job is so well deserved. You're going to be so perfect at it. You are one of the few people who, when you're not in that newsroom, your absence is definitely felt. You are so hardworking. You pull some long hours. You make us all look pretty good on the internet, on the website. And thanks, by the way, for your passwords for the first 6 months at CENTER Maine. That was really helpful. Also, this special little guy, Drew, wants to wish you well. We're hoping maybe you can meet him before you take off. but we're gonna miss you so much. Congratulations.
Liam, is your mic on? No. Sarah's asking.
Asking for.
We're at the monitor. Are we doing the monitor on the handheld? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind.
Testing, testing.
Wow, I feel that's not a dress you would wear to buy a mattress.
I don't know. Is he coming over to see you?
What do we so do we just have, is this just for Liam?
Is it just?
Like what I just don't know
We've got
what
stuff.
we're doing exactly.
Is he coming over there? Yeah. Right now? Where is it? Right here. Oh, yes, I'll put it up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you shut your mic off? I did. Yeah, turn it back on. Okay, turn it back on.
Okay.
She ain't gonna take that
How
from
much
you.
time do we have?
How much time do we have? 40 seconds. A little under.
Look at
Doesn't know yet.
I know, but look at her smirk face.
Rachel.
Rachel's smirk face.
Look, we've got 2 more traders about to say hi.
I know.
Look at all these traders.
This is ridiculous.
I really want to quote the SNL skit where he's like, I'm verklempt. But is that a bad word? Hey, schools.
I don't think it's.
Yeah.
Is verklempt a bad word?
Is what?
Like the SNL skit, verklempt. I'm verklempt.
No.
No, I think it's just like a.
It's like.
I wanted to say that, but I didn't know if it was.
You're fine.
We're so excited that you got your dream job.
And I'm so stoked for you too, man. I remember covering all those awesome events like the Patriots games at Gillette and watching you just do an absolutely incredible job. And we know you're going to do a great job with NBC covering the Olympics.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Well, look who decided that a whole year without KO was, just enough to be like, you know what? I'm moving down to Stamford, Connecticut. And then to just, get this job with NBC Sports as an excuse, like, brilliant. Love the game plan here. Well done. On a real note, congrats on an amazing run with New CENTER Maine. I can tell you from experience that it's exciting and it's difficult to leave such a great group. Hello, everybody. But also, Maine being home for you, I'm sure it's just more exciting, for a next chapter, especially close to a city that you love so much. And then obviously with me in there, cannot get any better. And also I'd like to congratulate you for making Jeff Schools cry. I can see him in the back, just kind of thinking about next week and, a whole week without you. That's going to be longer than vacation. Jeff, it'll get better, I promise. So yeah, we are so excited to see you in Stamford. Congratulations again. You deserve all the best. Allagash also sends her best. She's sleeping for once. She's already pooped in my living room 3 times this morning. We'll see ya. Bye, Lamb.
Should we have maybe, people like Liam enough that we should have set a time limit. I think
Right.
that's what we've learned here.
Right.
Let me just show you just a few. So my whiteboard has incorporated into Liam's life a few times.
Oh,
so let's
yes, and they're always so good.
Let's roll that if you can. I'm recently dad khaki model. That's
I've
a new
never
thing.
seen you wear khakis.
Yeah, pleated only. Pleated only. And then also I'm Liam's assistant. That's mainly a weekend job.
The Derby. And Keith will give us a tour of the weekend forecast. Not that we want it. Liam. also strikes again. His forecast. When we come back. He loves it.
It never gets old. He's always just like, why?
I
Why
love how
me?
much he wants nothing to do with that. All right, get over here.
Come on here, superstar.
So our viewers at home,
First time on TV.
we're not going to make you give a speech unless you want to give a speech. Get into the
No.
light.
No.
Come on.
No.
How do we do this? Do you stand
So
up?
yeah, he's gonna be going to NBC Sports, so kind of staying somewhat in the family and doing some Olympic work for them.
It's ridiculous.
So
It's fantastic.
So you excited?
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome experience. And thank you for just everything. Do I have to fill time here?
No.
Okay.
No, I
We
think
probably
they're ready.
should cut it. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
ready with the next show.
Okay.
All right, you
Good
want to
luck,
say
man.
it? News
Yeah,
Center Maine at
thank you so
5:30.
much.
When does it start?
News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now.
Next on News Center Maine, the main building at a 40-year-old building supply company in Winslow goes up in flames.
You just need to take action, and art has a really important power.
A young artist